Collaboration.
It's everything. It's everything. We can't. The world is connected. We can't. A company that thinks they can do everything, or a person that thinks they can do everything, is doomed to failure. So collaboration is that's the number one way to succeed, I think, in this world.
Hi Peter, how are you doing?
Good, Christophe. Very good indeed.
So we're at Finovate Europe 2019, the first day, so a lot of energy in the room. So what is it you're going to demo at Finovate?
Well, okay, so at Finovate, what we're going to show is our digital banking platform. We're going to, on stage, we're going to hook it up to a core banking system, and then we're going to create a mobile app, download it, and execute a transaction, and we're going to try and do all of that within the 7 minutes.
Is it realistic?
Well, it's risky. We should be able to do it. I think we've practiced a lot. And because of the nature of our platform, that's the thing, it's pre-built. So everything is pre-built. We just need to configure it and download it. So we should be okay, but ask me again at the end of the day and you'll see how I am.
Okay, I will then, it's a date. Because I've heard that some people had a few technical issues, which happens at Finovate. So fingers crossed, you won't get anything of that sort. So if you had to explain what ebanKIT does, so in just a few words or a few sentences, what would you say? You're not into the core banking system business, right? You built on top of it.
Yeah, so we don't do the core system, but we can provide everything that goes on top of the core system. And that's everything from, so there's usually an integration layer, some middleware, and then there are some customer apps. So typically in banking, that's a mobile banking app, an internet banking app, or maybe wearables, watch banking. But it's not just that, it's also the back office, so all the tool sets for people to access and use the software, and also it's the front office, so it's the contact center and the branch. So we provide that entire ecosystem that goes north of the core system.
And you're able to do that at scale. You work with a lot of banks and European banks. I'm thinking of one bank in Switzerland we mentioned, it's the HBL. So can you explain how quickly you managed to redesign their customer experience?
Sure. So that's HBL in Switzerland. So they are a private bank. So they had a very old core system that actually they had built themselves over time. So it was a completely custom core, nothing standard at all. So we were, because of the completeness of our solution, we were able to integrate, to connect up our platform to their core and launch internet banking for them inside 3 months. Now, they'd gone from nothing, they had no online service at all, to being able to launch this within 3 months. And then in another 2 months, we were able to launch the mobile app as well. Now, since then, in Switzerland, there are some partners with HBL, so there are 8 other banks that use the same core system, and we're now in the process of rolling out full transactional internet and mobile banking for all of the other banks in Switzerland.
What do you think, and what do you do in terms of data as well? Because here we're talking front end or back end, so the UI. And but what's your view on data, and which kind of value can you bring to your client organizations?
Yeah, so in the sort of transactional banking world, our view clear is that the data, so transactional, so data about transactions, lives in the core system. Okay, so that's an area. So we, as you pointed out at the start, we don't provide core systems. We partner with lots of core vendors, lots of them. And that's all part of that community. So they are very good at doing that. That's all they do. They store the data in the core, so that's cool. What we store, so there are some other bits of information, things like if you imagine using a transactional bank account where you want to set alerts or limits, so those are notifications, other things that you would want to set on your mobile app or your watch. Well, we store that information, so we store that, but actually for security, all the transactional stuff lives in the core.
Everybody is talking about marketplaces, and you mentioned API as well when we talked online open banking and PSD2. It's a busy market as well. A lot of vendors are positioning themselves as that partner which can help organizations to provide better UI on top of the core banking system. What would you say is the key, or are the key USPs of ebanKIT compared to other competitors I won't mention?
Yeah. So our starting point is we have a complete solution. So we have everything that goes from the core all the way up, and I mentioned before, up to the customer apps for retail banking and business banking and corporate. So the platform supports all 3 modes, plus the back office, plus the front office. But the key is our approach. We don't build what's already there. Okay, so we've built this off over the period of time. So our company is 4.5 years old. So for 4.5 years we've been doing this. But it also predates the company. So our founding company, we were doing this for about 10 years. So we have assembled, quite an investment in time to develop these systems. Everything else we integrate with. So our API gateway is designed, it's a bi-directional interface. Yeah, it's open banking, it's PSD2 and all that. But actually it's more than that. It's about how do we integrate and provide connections for our customers to other fintechs. So that way, so we have some examples. Unblue is one that we use. It's a Swiss company that do really good co-browsing, live assistance, live chat, video chat. Yeah, we could try and build that ourselves, but why? Because there are great fintechs that do that. And if the customer doesn't want that one, we can integrate another one for biometrics in the handsets. So some of the handsets, some of the new Apple ones and some of the new Android sets have lots of biometrics built in, but others don't. So we can provide, we partner with fintechs that specifically do that job. So that's our approach.
So I think it's a clever approach. Unbu, you're talking about them, so that means you've got a native integration or an API, working API, which enables an easy integration with the Unbu, again, as you said, a UI.
Yeah, exactly. That's one example. So that's a great product. We think it's best of breed. And so we offer that to our customers, but it's not prescriptive. So if a customer wants to do something else, they can, and it's completely optional. So our approach, as I said, is entirely, we do what we think we do best, which is building the platform out and that experience. But other companies are experts at doing the other stuff, and we just integrate with them.
Okay. Again, seems like a fair strategy. We're at Finovate, so it's exciting, a lot of energy, a lot of startups. So why do you think Finovate is still worth it in 2019 in terms of money, but also in terms of time building those demos and presenting? Yeah,
I do. We go to Finovate regularly. It's
Finovate number what today? If you remember.
I honestly don't know. It's lots and lots, and in other, in the US as well, and in the Middle East as well, we attend those. So the thing I love about Finovate is it's very transparent. It is what you see on the box. So the pitches are 7 minutes, and you don't go over your 7 minutes. They are live, no slides. So from a visitor perspective, if you don't like what you see, you only have to wait 7 minutes and get something else to look at. So it's very cool for that. It focuses the mind. We have to show something exciting, memorable, to get our point across in that time. And then if people are interested, they come and find you and you have a direct conversation. So for other conferences where it's a little bit more ethereal and people turn up and see keynotes all the time, as a vendor, it's less exciting because people are there for other reasons, often to network with their friends to go somewhere rather than to go and actually see what is new in the fintech marketplace. So so Finovate we love.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, it's my number 5, I think, but still haven't presented anything. So one day I'm hoping I'll be you, like the new you on stage. You're talking about Finovate, and it takes time to prepare, to think about your demos and preparing it. I've talked to another fintech. They say they started 6 months ago to plan. Would you say that it takes like such a long period of time to really design, deliver, prepare, rehearse?
It can do, and it's really interesting because some vendors will prepare something very, very unique for Finovate. They'll do something very specific, and that will take time. They have to build it all out and do that. And we've done that in the past. We've done some of that. Sometimes, like the one we did today, or the one we're doing today rather, is one where it's just using our standard platform. So actually, it's less risk. Yes, some tweaks we have to do. So yes, and it's always nervous getting up in front of a few hundred people and live on stage, and will exist on the internet forever. Is nervous, but the benefits, the payoff is really good. So yeah, well, you must invest really to do it. If you want to get the best benefit out of it, you need to invest and make sure it's slick, make sure it gets your message across in a way that your prospective customers will want to come and track you down and ask for more information really.
What happens at Finovate stays online on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, okay. You never escape. You never escape. It's there forever, yeah.
The last question of the initial interview is, what are the key challenges for growth for ebanKIT in 2019?
So we have, as I mentioned, we're 4 years old. So we've had some fantastic growth. We're pretty much 100% year on year since we were founded. So for us, our platform lends itself to a diverse marketplace. So we've had some great success when we started. We're based in Portugal, so we had a lot of Portuguese and Southern Europe and now Eastern Europe, Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa and South America. A lot of successes there. So our challenges really in the back end of 2018 and through 2019 are moving into some more mature markets. So that's the UK, that's here. It's Northern Europe, so some of the Nordics, and probably critically for us, North America. So our platform works fantastically well for American banks, and we've developed it over the last 2 years to support their banking networks. Obviously we're multi-currency, multi-language, but things that they do in the US, like checks. We lost them in Europe years ago, but in the US it's still important. So we've built those out. So our challenge for 2019 is to get our e-banking message across to North America, to get banks and credit unions in the US and Canada to really adopt our platform and really deploy it across the country. And I think we're seeing some really good signs that that's going to happen in this year. So maybe if we meet each other in a year's time, I'll be able to tell you what we managed to achieve in 2019 in North America in particular.
That sounds very exciting, yes. So maybe we'll see each other at the Finovate in the US. Finovate Spring, for instance, or Autumn, just to be more realistic.
Yeah, we're probably going to be there. We're certainly in Autumn we'll be there, for sure.
Thank you very much, Pete. That's brilliant. So I wish you the best for your demo, and hopefully you'll be best of show this year.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Christophe.
Thank you.